Whiskey for my men and beer for my horses.
They're trying to get me to quit, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to say 05.
Oh, my gosh.
Am I way off?
You're way off. You're not even the right decade. The best Reba McEntire movie is definitely Tremors.
Wait, Reba McEntire was in Tremors?
Two main characters in Dumb and Dumber. The character names, not the actors who played them, but what's the character's name?
So I get the runner over. I'm like, hey, take Toby Keith to Captain D's. And the runner's like, what? And here we are. We're easily distracted.
Look at us. Easily distracted.
How you been?
I've been doing well. I've been okay. How are you?
I'm good. I worked today in another city and drove in. Really, I was going to go somewhere else, and you know what I said? I went, no, wait, we're going to film our first podcast, so I need to get back to the office, to the setup.
I work in the same city every day, so tell of two lives.
I really wanted to do one in January. It's like I feel like we've already failed because I was like, we need to do one every month at least.
Start in January.
And it's February.
Now it's February.
Do we need it? So we just need to do more.
You know, I think, sometimes there's anticipation, maybe it just helps the build up, if they didn't come out with a podcast in January. Who's thinking that? Nobody. But it's the thought that counts.
Oh my God. I can't believe a couple months ago we were sitting around working on songs and just haphazardly use like, and I'd like to do some kind of weird podcast and I was like, let's do it for sure. Let's do that.
Yeah, because I know a lot about nothing.
Exactly.
And I thought it'd be great content.
And I said just a minute ago, let's shoot for 20 minutes. You said, I'm shooting for 45.
Yeah. Because, out of that 45, there might be 10, 15 minutes worth of good material.
Yeah. Should I have music in the background, like in post? Should I have like
right now?
Yeah, like in the background real low while we're talking, or no? I'm asking.
No, I think you do the intro music and then you're in.
Straight in.
We're just carrying it with our conversation.
Okay. I mean, that works. I just, yeah.
But hey, you're the producer, so you do what you like.
I'm nothing. This is Easy Distracted with Renny and Tony. Capital R.
I just listen to podcasts every day of my life. I don't know anything about the industry or.
Man, we listen. So, do you listen to podcasts at work? Do you like on the down low, like put in an earbud?
No, I have to think too much at work to even have anything going on in the background. So it's always on my commute. So my trip's at least 20, 25 minutes. So I can get a good half an episode in. But actually, a lot of them are 2 hours. So it's cool because I can have 1 2-hour episode last me, Monday through Thursday.
Oh,
and then I've got other things I subscribe to. So it's like just 3 shows fills up my week pretty good. So
that's pretty good. I go up to see Tabor, and it's like a 4-hour drive. So I put in, I get a couple in. I do, what is the one? Smartless. I mean, that's kind of my go-to. I listen to the
I've done that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then just random, there's like a couple music ones. But, I always feel weird about listening to a podcast from somebody who says they can tell you the secrets to make you a success, but then they're not a success.
I fell for that one time 10 years ago. It went on a podcast. It was like, the clickbait on Facebook. Like, listen to this or watch this 15 minutes later and you'll be a millionaire.
Well, yeah.
There's something about investing strategies and
oh man,
I followed it. Penny stocks,
Oh yeah,
so
I've done that.
I'll never get that $5 back.
I got sucked into like seeing YouTubers or Instagrammers, saying you want to get 100,000 followers or you want to be, this and that, do my 7 things. And I go look and they've got 600 views. I'm like,
yeah,
that doesn't work. See,
what's going on in the world, man?
Well, there's some crazy stuff. There's some crazy stuff attached to a couple different things. For one, the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm not, go sports. I'm not that guy.
Yay, sports.
But you know what? When I was a kid, I used to love the 49ers. So I was like mildly, amused to find out the 49ers were in the Super Bowl. So I was like, oh, this is cool. This, makes me think of, when I was like 13.
Yeah. Well, when I was growing up, 90s, I was, that Dallas Cowboys were the America's team.
Right.
That was the heyday for them.
But they went in the
So,
Super Bowl.
well, no, but I'm just saying, when you're a kid, you
Yeah.
you latch on to these sports teams. Mine was the Dallas Cowboys. I had the whole outfit. I'm pretty sure I wore it to school once, even the pads and the helmet.
Hey, do you
Yeah,
remember the helmets that people collected? They were like, I mean, you could wear them, and they were like plastic, and they had all the logos on them, and you could put them on.
yeah. I had like a Cincinnati Red one.
Yeah, yeah. Baseball. Yeah, they were baseball hats. I remember that now.
Baseball. Oh yeah, baseball. Is that
The
or
Reds, that's baseball. Anyway, did you watch the whole Super Bowl? Did you like sit down? Was it an event? You had people over?
no? I was watching commercials and halftime show, and then it would take a break from that and show some kind of football game. Yes, I watched the whole football.
Yeah,
game.
me and Terry watched that. We watched the whole thing too, and yeah, I mean, it's whatever. It's rigged, is what I heard. That's
Well,
the takeaway, right?
Rig's not my word. Mine's predictable. I do watch a lot of football, but I was, I think, the Friday before Super Bowl, I was telling the guy I worked with, Kansas City's going to get down in the first half, but they're going to come back in the end and do the same thing they did last year.
It does sound like a produced story, though, right? I mean, not that I don't think it's rigged. Let's just get that straight. I don't think it's rigged, but it is kind of like produced. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I mean, I don't know enough about anything sports to really have a valid comment at all. But I do have, I did watch the halftime show. I look forward to that. And what was your
Usher.
What was your thoughts?
Well, I did have the Confession CD. When it come out, I bought it. And I don't know why I did. I bought it because it was like really hyped up, and I guess I wanted to be cool. So I was like, I got to have the Confessions album.
So you were an Usher fan?
No, I just bought the album because it was cool. There was a few hits I really enjoyed off of that, but I wouldn't say I'm a Usher enthusiast and could tell you everything about his discography.
No, I didn't know any of the songs except the one that at the end there. I forget what it is now, but and then the one. I forget.
Yeah,
is that the name of it?
I think that's it.
Yeah,
with Lil Jon.
Is that who that was? I thought it was Lil Wayne.
Yeah, it was Lil Jon. You know Lil Jon, right?
No, I knew Ludacris. So there's that. I think that was everybody's highlight. I guess because I'm old, Ludacris isn't like vintage to me. Like, it's like Ludacris. Oh yeah, it was the other day. But everybody was like, "Oh my God, it was so cool to see Ludacris again." And that was my when I was in college or those kind of things. But
same.
I did that. I did a show for Ludacris the other day in West Virginia, and I say the other day, it was like last fall.
Oh, okay.
And I did like video stuff for him, and he showed up, and all his his crew and everything, and they were super chill, and they had the crowd going insane. Everybody there in whatever town in West Virginia that was flipping out, and there was about 6,000 people there. It was outdoors. And
cool.
He worked the crowd like within an inch of its life. Like he knew everything to do. Here's something that was kind of cool, though. He came in and was going to do, this is like insider stuff. This is for real. So he came in, he came in and his people were like, he has another show tonight in Alabama. So we're like,
the same night?
Yes. And they said he is doing a hard cutoff at 9:00 or let's say 9. I think it was 9:30. He is a hard cutoff at 9:30. I've changed it now. It's 9:30. And no matter what, he's walking off the stage at 9:30. And we're like, okay. So he's got his buddy with him, evidently, who's helped him write songs since they were in high school together. And they're just rapping, they're doing the thing. And he's like, turns around and tells the DJ to do something. And he's like, they're trying to get me to quit, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep on going all night. And we're like looking at each other. And he's like, we're going to do, and we're like, I know he's quitting at 9:30, but at 9:11, he was like saying, they're trying to, they're telling us to wrap up.
Like, he was trying to get ahead of it or preempt it.
Yes.
They don't want to appear to be uncool,
right.
Quitting at
at
still not
9:30.
open.
It's
Yeah.
like a big concert. But
Okay.
so he did.
Well,
So we were like cracking up, like, what is going on? That's funny. Is he going to go longer? And the guy beside him is like, no, it is. He is walking off the stage at 9:30. So it gets up 9:27, 9:28. And we're like looking. I'm like, there's no way he's right in the middle of this song. He's going to go all night. And man, I tell you what, it was like 9:29. He had the crowd going. They were jumping. And he turned to the DJ and he was like, play him something. And he walked off the stage. He went down the stairs and he got in a car and they left.
see ya. Bye-bye.
Nobody knew the concert was over. Like, the whole crowd didn't know it was over. They thought he just walked off, and the DJ is just going crazy, getting them all hyped. And then the DJ just, like, starts chilling, and plays a couple more songs. And
So it goes on for what, 20, 30 minutes?
it goes on for
Like 10 o'clock probably?
before 10. I mean, it was like maybe
Wow.
10 more minutes. And then it was just like, boom, the DJ was like, peace, and turned everything off. And so he jumped on a plane with the main people and took off. And then his crew, wrapped everything up. And
Wow.
yeah, isn't that weird?
That's
It was
weird.
cool, though. He did it great. It was perfect. But anyway, that's my little tangent. That's my ludicrous story for, we were talking about the
So
Super
yes,
Bowl.
well, appreciate that. I always enjoy your inside stories. Inside the stories
There you go.
of arena
An old man
logistics.
working yeah, that's it.
Oh, sure. Halftime.
Yeah.
I seen it.
And I ask you your thoughts. What about, I've got opinions, but like overall, where does it lay in the top 10 of halftime shows you've ever seen?
12.
Yes. I thought, okay, first off, I think 80-90% of everybody was really singing. Not performing, but really singing, because it was there was some pitchy moments and there was some bad microphone placement moments,
But I did notice there is still so much background vocals happening. It's like he's just adding to it.
Yeah, he's
and he
singing
can
with
quit
himself
at any time, and
Yeah.
it doesn't take away from the flow of the song vocally.
Yeah, totally. When it first came on, I mean, I felt like there was a front of house guy like working his butt off, freaking out, because it sounded very dry. It sounded like a board tape for a split second when his vocals did. And but the girl, that was playing the guitar, that's her name, Her. She wasn't really playing; she was just miming her solo.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the nature of the beast when you're in the middle of a stadium and it's all echo. I get that. I kind of get it. I felt like back in the day, like Tom Petty really played, right? Surely.
And I feel like that's why they're getting away from the bands. I mean, I would love to see more rock bands up there. I feel like ever since the Red Hot Chili Peppers thing, where they were unplugged, basically.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
Yes.
They've kind of like, you know what? No more bands.
There is no more bands.
I know. Either it appeared to be Usher had a backline and a band, but they were all like kind of blackened out.
Yeah.
Very shady back there. Who knows if they're playing?
And they're playing along, and a lot of the times those kind of things, like before that day, like the day before, they play the whole thing and record it. So they make sure they get a perfect take, and then the next day they play that recording and play along with it. I mean, who knows what they did? But I get that you can't. Maybe you can't do everything live, but there was a lot of slow songs. That was kind of weird. I think it should be all like bump, just should be hype and crazy.
You're talking about for Usher, there was a lot of slow songs?
Yeah.
I mean, R&B is kind of his thing, and I guess that's the feel of a lot of his songs,
Alicia Keys. And isn't it weird, though, that they're always, like, have you noticed the trend that there's not her, she's relevant and brand new, but like every time you need something to really happen, you pull from like bands from 15 years ago. Isn't that? I mean, because I guess I don't know. Can you imagine some TikTok trendy band nobody has enough material to do a greatest hits? I don't know. I'm just ranting now.
You mentioned the Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
Now that was actually the highlight of the halftime show for me because of the piano.
Yeah.
Now, at first glance, I was like, wow, they've got this beautiful molded piece of artwork and a digital piano,
Right.
laying in front. But really, it was like a plexiglass see-through on top, and there appeared to be piano strings on top.
I didn't
Like
even
it was
notice.
full
That's
on
cool.
acoustic. Yeah, full on acoustic piano. And it looked really good.
And I think she was really playing because at the end she did the little trill where she does the octaves, and she hit a bad note at the end. Did you hear that? And she looked up like, she was kind of like,
She had my full attention because I was trying to figure out this piano. I was like, is this real? Is this digital? What's going on? So she played it, and by the end, I was like, this is definitely a real piano, and I'd like to have one in my house.
That halftime show, one of the bottom on my list. Even though I'm not going to say it was horrible, but it didn't have the pizzazz that the other ones.
I agree. And as far as halftime shows go, I seen you can't believe anything you hear and half of what you see, especially on social media. So I thought I seen a post about it might have been talking about last year's Super Bowl performance, but they rolled the stage out and somebody drove something over the two major power cables. They severed them, and somebody had to stand there and hold them together.
No way. There's no way.
Yeah, that's a big no way.
Yeah, yeah.
But the other kind of point of that story is you look at the comments, oh, man, that's awesome.
Oh, I know.
Can't believe he held that together like that through the whole performance.
Well, listen, there's always going to be people that just believe the headlines, never do the research. And yeah, I don't know. But so, that actually is the first Super Bowl from beginning to end I've watched in years. So, with everybody just streaming, I didn't really, usually I don't even have the Super Bowl probably. I don't know.
I just watch highlights on social media.
Yeah.
I found out about it. Well, did you watch the first ever, wasn't it Michael Jackson, 1993?
93?
That was the first, hyped up Super Bowl halftime show entertainment performance.
I can't really remember if I watched it live or just the memory of it makes me think I did,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That wasn't the first entertainment one, but that was the first super hyped this halftime show is going to be something.
Well, I thought I had read, I'm not prepared for this, but based on my recent research, because Super Bowl, I always go down the rabbit hole when things are happening. The prior to 93, the Super Bowl, their halftime was not really as it is today, or has
a marching band doing.
Yeah, marching band is random stuff.
I didn't know.
What would happen is other networks would have specials during that time.
And they were like, we're losing viewers during that.
Try to steal the viewers during that. Tune in here during the Super Bowl halftime. Why are you waiting for the football to come back?
That's pretty good.
Into this channel. Yeah. And Super Bowl, NFL folks, whatever network has the Super Bowl at that time was like, we got to do something about this. So, 93, let's get the biggest pop star on the planet, Michael Jackson.
Let's call that youngest Jackson 5 guy. I think he's got a hit.
Yeah, that one little kid.
Yeah.
And I went back and watched it, and it's amazing how the same kind of elements and feel exist today. But actually, that show was way better because it was the first. People are going nuts,
Yeah, yeah.
And he incorporated the whole audience. They had the colorings. You know how they put color T-shirts or color paper in the audience.
Bluetooth.
There was a visual happening, and it's Michael Jackson. And,
he moonwalk.
He did the moonwalk.
Was Diana Ross there?
No, I didn't see her.
I thought she popped up for something.
No, but he ended the set with "We Are the World," and that's when all the audience held up.
Classic
images of.
Did it make
children.
Africa or anything? Like a picture of Africa?
There were World of Worlds were there. They were different nations represented in the
It's good stuff.
on the field.
I'm living it through you, even though I'm probably watched it.
You should definitely look it up. It's amazing.
I was like, how old was I in '93? I mean, I was like somewhere. I was old enough.
Let's keep that off the record.
Well, that's pretty good. So the Super Bowl happened. What is it, like Super Bowl 49? No, it's the 49ers.
I forget.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's 50-something, right?
Yeah.
But my favorite would have to be what a lot of people's are, and that would be Prince.
Prince. It's hard to beat what he pulled off. I mean, right?
It is.
I mean,
in the rain, what? I mean, he was singing Purple Rain in the rain.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
That's magic.
Yeah, that was one for the books for sure. That was really good. You know, speaking of those, I watched, like the rabbit hole. So I watched, like, remember when the Super Bowl was country? And then there was like a country one with like Tammy Wynette or somebody, like that, and Travis Tritt and all those people. And they were all out there at Boot Scootin' Boogieing and all that.
I'm sure that was like I mentioned before, the 90s Dallas era,
Yeah, probably was.
Sure when 90s country,
I know, 90s country.
That was the thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's good. Speaking of 90s country, do you think the 90s country is the best era, like, of country?
Absolutely.
Better than the 70s? Better than the 80s? I mean, I hear people say that a lot.
Well, for me,
that's a hard one.
I have to go with it.
Yeah. The guys.
A lot of it can be generational. I mean, if you grew up around it, it's a lot of nostalgia things for folks that grew up around that kind of music.
I'll tell you what.
For me, 90s kid.
I think it was the heyday. I think that's a good word for it. It was the heyday when there was big hits and big tours. Because, like Waylon Jennings and those guys, they were still kind of, let's go down to Mickey Gilley's and play, that kind of thing. But back then, that was like, people were like doing arenas, and that's when women in country, really kicked in.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a Shania Twain fan.
Man, have you seen her lately? She's a stick.
Yeah,
she looks like she's 60 pounds. Oh yeah, you went and watched her.
I went and watched her at Louisville.
Oh, man, that's
now. I went in with certain expectations,
right?
And
did they?
I just feel
really met.
I just feel like I was at least hoping to see 2012 Shania Twain.
Post,
instead, we got 2023, and I think we're on the.
What is she, like 60? Was she phoning it in?
Like 58, 56, probably.
Yeah,
I don't think she's 60 yet.
I'm going to see.
You go see. But I felt like it was either the mix or this was by design, that when she would sing, especially when it got to the chorus, I felt like Shania was singing the lower harmony and somebody else was taking the lead.
I can see that, man. She's 58, by the way.
Yeah. Well, her mic was so loud you could hear in the verse, and then the chorus comes in. My ears hear her drop down to the lower, and there's no other female on stage. So, but I hear multiple female voices. So it's either a track or somebody's off stage.
Did you get a T-shirt?
No. I stood in line for it, and I was like, forget this.
Yeah. Man, if you'd have showed up here at the studio in a Shania Twain T-shirt, that'd have been the greatest day ever.
Well, I'm sure you can get them on Amazon.
I was at Cracker Barrel last night after doing a setup, and they had Dolly Parton T-shirts, and I was going to get one. It was just like 70s Dolly, huge. Of course, they didn't have my size. We'll just say that. A bunch of, I guess they were just selling them to women. I don't know, but
that's not fair.
Yeah, I know. I was going to wear one like so much. Can you imagine me walking around with a huge 70s Dolly Parton picture? Yep. That would be great. So let's see. What else happened musically or non-musically? The Grammys. Right? That was last week.
Grammys? Is that a thing?
Yeah. All I know is, like, for the last 5 years, I see a headline, Grammys lowest numbers ever. Less people watch them than ever before. Or is that the Oscars? I think that's the Oscars, actually. Nobody watches the Oscars.
What's the Oscars?
Yeah. Oscars, Tonys, Grammys, man. It's just so everybody can pat each other on the back.
Well, I'll just tell you, the reason I tuned into the Grammys, Tracy Chapman.
Really? I mean, I knew that was going to be a thing. So you were like, I want to hear Tracy Chapman do that one song.
Yeah.
With, who's the guy?
Luke Combs?
Yeah, Luke Combs.
Yeah.
Was it awesome? I've only watched like clips. I didn't.
Yeah, because I think ever since he covered that song, there's always been a, chatter about, is Tracy going to acknowledge, or is she going to do a duet? Or
yeah.
Are they going to, collaborate? Do you know when that song come out? Tracy Chapman, when she wrote and released that song?
Oh, let's see. It's
like a wild guess.
It's a weird era. I'm going to say 05.
Oh my gosh.
Am I way off?
You're way off. You're not even the right decade.
Oh, 95?
No.
What? When was it?
I think it'll surprise you. 1988.
You are kidding me.
Look it up.
88? That's when I graduated high school.
She came out with an album in 88. I can't remember the name.
How did I not know that? I mean, that
had Fast Car was the best track off that album. Gave her stardom. And then she followed it up in, I think, 94 or 95, in the heyday of 90s pop music, with Give Me One Reason.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Give me one. So that was her follow-up album that had that hit on there. But Fast Car, 1988.
Dang.
I mean, when I realized... Yeah, 05. And when I read that, I was like, wow, she was kind of ahead of the curve. That 90s feel, pop.
Yeah. She was bringing it in.
Rock. Yeah.
Dang,
and let me give you another quote from Luke Combs after the Grammys. Because I'm always interested in details.
Right, yeah.
So, now that they have got together, well, actually before that, like, how does an artist go about covering somebody's song? Like, what all did he have to go through? And it seems like depends on which song it is, determines what the process is. Because I was reading an article, I was searching, like, Luke Combs, what did he have to do to, get this song, put it on his album? Turns out he had been playing it as part of his live show and then put it on his latest album. But in the article it says, Luke says, didn't have to seek approval from Chapman, since he adhered to the very, very specific list of things he could do or couldn't do. What does that mean?
Well, when I've covered songs before, you have to hire a company to go do their due diligence and get a release to do the song. Now, super famous people can just like have their people call their people directly.
Yeah.
But you have, and some people can just say no. Like Led Zeppelin is bad for that. And if you call and you're trying to do a Black Dog or something, they can you pay the money and the lawyer does the thing, and then they come back and go, nope, declined. So there's different, like people will say you can cover my song, but it can't be on commercials, or you can cover it live, but it can't be, you can't change the chords. I mean, people can put all kinds of specific things on it.
Yeah. Well, that same article also quoted Tracy Chapman of saying that rap artists all the time were contacting her to sample her music, and she would flat out refuse, just no all the time. But then
a country artist,
the music, I don't know, but it's like he went through a third party, or he was playing it the way he was playing it, or the frequency was. It's like it was within this, set of rules that exist in Nashville or the music world. And because, like, in that same article, Tracy's like, oh, I found out my song was number one that Luke Combs is doing. It's like she had no...
Yeah, just because her publishing just let them do it. She's got a whole company that does her publishing. And that's some, that's...
No, that's just me digging into too much information that has no bearing on my life.
That's cool.
But, yeah.
I'll have to say I didn't watch an ounce of the Grammys, but I heard all the, the hubbub.
Yeah.
I wanted to see, like Tyler Childers and Chris Stapleton was up for the same things, and of course, Jesse and those guys, I saw their post and those kind of things, Tyler's band. And so I was like, well, I hope maybe they get a not maybe. I hope they get a Grammy. You know, that would be super cool. But I
Yeah.
saw they were against Chris. I mean, he's a juggernaut, you know, and like, well, he's from our area and they are from our area. So I'm like, well, it's cool. But yeah, Chris won. And let me ask you this, because this was intriguing. Chris won Best Country Song. Chris Stapleton won Best Country Song. And he won Best Country Solo Performance. What's that? What's Best Solo Performance? Is that one single performance? Or how do you get a Grammy for solo performance? Is it because
is it a live setting? Is that what, or is it?
I don't know. I was just looking at it. I posted it, you know, like all the winners, and I saw that, and I was like, Best Country Solo Performance, Chris Stapleton. Best Country Song, Chris Stapleton. So I was just
well, there is nuances to those awards. It's like, how many ways can we give out an award? Basically,
yeah. Well, like, what's Record of the Year and Album of the Year?
I'm glad you asked, because I know now. Because
really?
that killed me.
Yeah.
I didn't watch all of the Grammys because you get wore out pretty quick.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure.
I made it up to
probably long as the Super Bowl.
I don't know how long I made it up to, but I was in and out, I guess. But I was like, Record of the Year, Album of the Year, what's up?
Exactly.
Record of the Year focuses on the technical and engineering aspects of the album or of the record, whereas Album of the Year is more about the musical aspects and performance of the music.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
So,
Website,
Miley Cyrus got Record of the Year. Taylor Swift got Album of the Year.
That was her first Grammy. Not Taylor Swift.
Miley
Cyrus. Yes.
I mean, she was excited. I don't know what. Oh, yeah, the Flowers song. But, I don't know. You know, man, that Lainey Wilson Country Album of the Year, you know, she was just in our town, and we just worked a show with her, and she was an opener. You know, she wasn't even the headliner of the bill, and now she's won a Grammy. So that means, you know, her price doubled, and she's going to get to headline, you know, this year. So that's kind of crazy.
Cool. Yeah.
But so anyway, that's our take on the Grammys. I don't know. I've been wanting to talk to you about that anyway, because I figured that you would know Record of the Year and Album of the Year. I just felt like that was a Renny thing.
Yeah, because you're watching it, and I'm like, what? What?
Exactly. Like,
Record,
is that
album?
a mistake? Is that a mistake?
We don't use this interchangeably?
Yeah.
No, there's a difference.
Yeah.
Record, technical. Album, performance.
Yeah. The Grammys is when they always play that super sad video of, like, everyone we've lost this year, right? I mean, they always do that. I mean, I didn't see it, but did Toby Keith pass away after the Grammys or before?
That was before.
Was it before? I don't know. But that's kind of crazy. I mean, Toby Keith, he's not in the era. He's in the 90s era. He's that 90s country that everybody talks about. And, you know, so I always thought he did that song, My Baby's Favorite Color is Chrome. And it's not. That's like Trace Adkins. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Well, Toby Keith, for me, took a while. It was a slow burn for me. At first, I just was turned off. It's like, I'm not into this at all.
Yeah.
It was almost annoying, but it seems like as I got older and understood that his formula was comedy and patriotism, it's like, wow, that's kind of up my alley nowadays, seems like. But, he did the Beer for My Horses.
Beer for My Horses?
Beer for My Horses.
Yeah.
Beer for My Horses. And that's a song, but that's all I ever known it to be as a song. But you know, it was a movie.
What?
Look it up.
Like after, like,
oh wait,
the song.
Whoa, there's an earthquake.
The song that he wrote turned into a movie, or there was a movie and he wrote.
He did the movie and wrote it for the movie, I believe. Man.
Wait, he was in the movie.
Like, yeah,
I'm going.
Him and
to
Willie
Google.
Nelson. Yes.
Wait, who are we talking about? Oh yeah, Toby Keith.
Beer for My Horses. They won't even show you the song first.
Easily distracted, dude. He's been in a ton of movies. Did you know that? He was in the 2000 Dukes of Hazzard.
Well, yeah, like cameo appearances.
Yeah.
He's like a character, a feature person in
Beer for My Horses,
one movie and one show. I think isn't there a series in 2006 he was in?
I don't know. Broken Bridges, 06. Beer for My Horses, 08.
Beer for My Horses is a movie, right?
Yeah.
Is Willie Nelson in it?
Oh, let me see. I mean, beer.
This is where you put like this
Dude.
split screen with a picture of the movie, right? Is this how you're going to do the?
Wait, I can do this right here. What about this? I can do this because of technology.
Oh, you can't. Not happening. Oh, there it is. I can hear you. I can't see you though. It's covered up by a web page, you know.
Yeah, but there, if I go to that, I haven't got it set up to be able to comment. And what's the use if I can't comment? But listen, who's in that movie? Toby Keith as Joe Bill Racklin.
Hey, Joe Bill Racklin.
Joe Bill Racklin. Rodney Carrington's in it. Ted Nugent is in it as Skunk. Barry Corbin. Oh, he's not a singer. Willie Nelson. Gina Gershon. Dude, you're right. Beer from a Horse is 08. It gets a 4.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
But hey, it showed his willingness to explore different creative avenues.
Yeah. And he was in, like I said, 6 or 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 different things that are listed under his movie credits. I've got two. I got a hilarious Toby Keith story.
Let's hear it.
You got a minute?
I got a few.
All right. So, are you
going to tell the story or not?
Yeah. In my line of what I do, I've worked with Toby Keith a few times. First of all, I worked the infamous show in Kentucky where he jumped off the stage, at the guy and got in the big brawl. And do you remember that the whole ruckus?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, so I don't know. Toby says he has no idea what happened, but some guy up front just took his beers and poured them all over the stage and just threw his beer bottles, flipped him off, and grabbed his wife and started leaving. Like Toby must have been. Maybe Toby was eyeing his wife too much or something. And the guy's like flipping him off the whole way out. I'm out of here. And Toby's singing and he's looking at the guy. And then Toby's just like flipping him off. And then Toby walks to the edge of the stage and he's like still singing the song, and he's like, and then Toby's bass player comes up behind Toby playing bass, and he's just like, So anyway, Toby jumps off the stage. He jumps off the stage, which is 5 feet. He jumps off the stage, runs up the steps, grabs the guy by his collar and puts his head on his head, and he's like, and nobody knows what he's saying, and he's just like, and the security guards, they finally get up there and they get Toby, and they surround that guy and get him out of here, and Toby climbs back up on stage and he's like starts singing again, and he's like, sorry guys, I don't know what that guy's problem was. He just poured all his beer out on my stage and flipped me off.
Oh man.
And but here's the crazy thing. Suppose during the time of the show, they were like, the police come and got that guy, and we never heard. That guy is anonymous. Nobody knows who he was at all.
It was part of the show, I'm afraid.
Here's the thing. Now I'm totally putting this in. All right, this is just like, I don't know what the word is, but like a conspiracy. This is just okay. So Toby's personal manager never went on shows, all right? Toby's representation, there was a tour manager and stuff like that, but his personal manager, well, we got word that label people, personal manager, all these people were going to be there tonight, and it was a big deal. And so that happened too, and the guy disappeared. Nobody knew him locally. Nobody had ever seen him before, and he got ushered out. And there was never arrests made. I mean, we did look that up with the city, No arrests were ever made. But Toby went nationwide. The next morning, Toby jumped off the stage, and there was like defending a lady or, there was all kinds of different things. But the next morning, it was like nationwide news that Toby lost his cool and jumped off the stage during the show. So I'm not saying, but anyway.
I ain't the one of gossiping, so you didn't hear it from me.
But that's not the funniest thing for that night. I got another piece. There's another part of this story. So we're doing the show, and it's the sound check's over. The tour manager comes up, I kid you not, and goes, "Hey, we have any runners available?" And runners are the people that sit there all day until somebody needs something, and they literally jump in their car and go get it. I mean, I've had runners go all the way to like West Virginia, another state, to pick up like clove cigarettes for the guitar player for Stained, that kind of thing. Or just go like so and so wants 8 cases of beer and 20 pizzas, go get it.
Got it.
So the guy comes up and goes, "Hey, do we have a runner? Toby wants to go eat at Captain D's." And I was like, so
Captain
you want
D's, please.
You want a runner to go get some food? And he went, "No, he wants to go to Captain D's."
Go.
And so I'm like, "What?" So I get the runner over. I'm like, "Hey, take Toby Keith to Captain D's." And the runner's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, take Toby Keith to Captain D's." He said, "Well, what am I going to do?" I said, "Sit out in the car. I don't know. Wait for him to eat." I said, "I don't know." Toby gets in the car. They go to Captain D's. Toby's like, "Don't sit out here. Come on in with me." So my runner goes in. Toby orders a 3-piece catfish dinner. They sit down there. The runner's there. And Toby eats, I kid you not, he eats a 3-piece catfish dinner. And I was like, asked the runner, I was like, "Did you eat?" "No." I was like, "What'd you do?" "I just kind of sit there." But, he's like, Toby talked and stuff. But anyway, so Toby ate a 3-piece dinner after sound check of Captain D's, and the runner brought him back, and he did his show.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got to eat that stuff fresh. You cannot take that home.
What kind? Pikeville would have lost their mind if they had known that Toby was just sitting there eating, just chilling.
I mean,
Captain
at the
D's.
end of the day, he's a regular guy that's got to eat every now and then, And
but I mean, they had catering. They had, they get him anything he wants. He wanted Captain D's catfish, man.
Today I want Captain D's.
But anyway, so that's my Toby Keith story. What do you think?
A good one.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Pretty good one.
I felt like there was a missed opportunity for Captain D's to get on board, man. That manager, if he had known, I mean, he could have took some pictures. It could have been, there still could be a picture there.
Yeah, that was definitely a lost opportunity. Whiskey for my men and beer for my horses.
Oh, do you actually remember that? Do you remember
the song, but I don't remember the movie. I remember watching the music video, which I think took clips from the movie.
From the pictures there, it looked like he was a police officer or something, like a deputy. He had like a gray uniform on. Or maybe he was like a dog catcher. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what movie I watched the other day of a country singer? It was cheesy and low budget, but also just like, okay, I watched it, 99 minutes, and it was fine. It was a Reba McEntire movie.
Oh.
Yeah, she's like a new one out.
What's that one called?
I don't know, but she was a judge.
Okay.
And her husband, her real life husband, was in it and was the bad guy. Isn't that pretty cool?
Okay. The best Reba McEntire movie is definitely Tremors.
Wait, Reba McEntire was in Tremors with Kevin Bacon?
Yeah.
I just don't have the recall, man, to remember that stuff.
Oh, man.
I mean, here's the thing about me and movies. Like, I watched Tremors probably the year it came out, and I haven't watched it since or thought about it. Like, I'm not one of those TBS Saturday, "Oh, remember that movie? Let's watch it," even though it's got a bunch of commercials and they made it full screen and cut the edges off.
Yeah, which reminds me of a segment we got coming up.
What is it?
Tony's Trivia. Only I'm asking the questions. Can we stump old Tony
Yeah.
with some basic knowledge of universally known movies?
Well, I mean, yeah, we'll do that because it's embarrassing. Maybe we won't get into it too deep.
Oh, come on. We're laughing with you.
Listen, it's not as bad as it used to be because I've caught up with some of the movies that everybody's watched but me, I guess.
Well, while I'm thinking of it, my favorite all-time country superstar makes a movie.
Yeah.
Is George Strait, Pure Country.
Never watched it.
Oh, it's a classic. It's got a great story. He's,
You like movies.
he's
country
playing a
artists.
musician. It's almost like a reflection of his life on the road.
I remember that now.
And there's a love story involved.
What's his name? It isn't like
Dusty.
ironic, is it?
I think it's Dusty.
Dusty Crooked.
Dusty something, but
Straight Crooked.
He's at the peak of his career. He's got this like goatee and mustache that he later shaves off to get the classic George, Dusty. But anyway, he quits the tour, tells his drummer, like, man, I got to take a break. So his drummer kind of knows what's going on. The tour manager brings in a replacement. And so there's that whole dynamic and weird thing. And finally,
if you want to watch the movie,
I'm not going to say anymore.
I mean, is it worth watching, really? Like, should I watch it?
It is. Absolutely.
He doesn't die at the end, right?
No.
Okay. I don't want to watch those. I can't watch
say anything at the end because I want you to enjoy it. He doesn't die, though.
Wait, what's the name of it? I'm going to put it in my notes. I kid you not.
Yeah, it's Pure Country, 1992. Western Romance.
All right. It's in my notes. I'm going to watch it.
Put it on your list, man.
And I'll rate it next podcast from 1 to 10.
Let's stick to the movie category. Okay. All right, this is where you got to play the music.
Okay, I'll put some in post.
All right. Okay. Trivia with Tony. Tony.
Yes.
Can you answer these basic questions? I'll tell you what, here's how it's going to roll. We're just going to focus on one movie at a time, and I'm going to ask general questions about the movie that...
Like one movie this week and one movie next week? Okay.
98% of people have watched this movie.
Of every person?
Actually, 99.9% of the people in the world have watched this movie.
Okay.
The movie is Dumb and Dumber. Now, have you watched it?
I have not watched Dumb and Dumber.
Okay,
I think you froze there.
Yeah. Okay, so everybody else in the world knows the answers to these questions. I'll actually give you multiple choice. That way, it kind of gives some content and you can take a stab at it.
I mean, I might get these. I might get these.
You might recall some of this just from.
Well, I mean, before you start, I want you to know that when I was playing music and had a front of house guy that traveled with us, he worshiped that movie and continually quoted it all day, every day, no matter what we said. If we were going to talk about dinner, he was quoting that. So I'm going to have some. I'm going to have some quotes.
So you might have some secondhand knowledge of this movie.
Yeah,
that's great.
Go for it.
Okay, who are the two main characters in Dumb and Dumber? The character names, not the actors who played them, but what's the character's name?
I had no idea. I mean,
okay, A.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do this.
Harry and Lloyd. B. Jeff and Bo. Or C, Jim and Carrie.
Well, I know it's not C. Jeff and Harry and Lloyd sounds like. Isn't that a movie with? Isn't that like the movie with? I think Harry and Lloyd is a movie. What is the movie like? About
When
Mel?
Harry Met Sally. What are you trying to get to here?
Oh, that's what I was thinking of. When Harry Met Sally. So it's not that.
No.
Jeff and Bo.
A. Harry and Lloyd. B. Jeff and Bo. Or C. Jim and Carrie.
It's not C. I mean, I'm not stupid. And then wait a minute. Is Bo Bridges one of the guys in it?
No.
Well, you said Jim and Carrie, so I knew Jim Carrey's one of them, but so the other one's not Bo Bridges. I felt like he would be a good one, though. It's got to be the first one. I'm just going with the first one, Harry and Lloyd.
Ding! Cue up the dings. You got that one right.
Yeah,
good guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jim and Carrey. I got this.
Who directed Dumb and Dumber?
Now, okay. I probably am going to get this right.
A. Martin Scorsese.
Oh, yeah. Multiple choice.
Yeah. A. Martin Scorsese. That's it, right? B. Quentin Tarantino. C. The Farrelly Brothers.
Wait, is that it? Okay, I was going to say the Coen brothers, so it's the Farrelly brothers. Boom. Got it.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, that's a good. Next time we'll try Coen Brothers because you won't remember this anyway. Okay, here's an important question. What is the destination city that Harry and Lloyd are traveling to?
Colorado. Wait, that's a state.
City. The city.
There's tons of snow and mountains. Not Colorado.
Where the salmon
Springs.
flock. Yeah, where the women instinctively flock like the salmon of Capistrano. That's it.
Is it a city in America? Can you give me that? Or
Colorado is in America.
Colorado's a state.
Yeah, you were close. You're in the right state.
What is that other town? Boulder, Colorado.
I mean, that's a good guess, but no.
I mean, it's not Colorado Springs.
So you already know the state, so these multiple choice won't help you. New York, Las Vegas, or Aspen?
Well, Aspen.
Okay.
I mean, I'm 2 out of 3.
You're okay. You know, that secondhand knowledge served you well. 2 more questions.
All right.
What item prompts Harry and Lloyd to travel across the country from Rhode Island to Aspen, Colorado?
Wait, what?
What item prompts this whole adventure? What item is it?
Okay.
Possession? Is it A?
Oh, yeah. God, I keep forgetting that.
A?
Yeah.
A ransom note. B? A briefcase left at the airport. Or C? A suitcase full of money.
See, if you hadn't given me multiple choice, I would get these
wrong. The fact that you can't just knee-jerk, just immediately answer this.
Well, I was going to say that truck that's shaped like a dog. That's what I was going to say, but now that you've given me those, I'm going to say...
We went question number 5.
Let's see. Did you say a briefcase full of money?
A suitcase full of money, a briefcase that was left at the airport, or a ransom note?
It's got to be the full of money. Really? A ransom note? Just a briefcase. X's. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
What's funny is Mary, the leading lady, has her husband is kidnapped and held hostage, and she's leaving the briefcase in the airport for the captors to pick it up at the airport terminal. But Lloyd sees it after he's dropped her off from a limo ride, and he runs in, scoops in, takes the suitcase as the 2
like she criminals. Forgot it.
Yeah, and he goes, "Hold that plane!" And he, tries to get her on the airplane, and the airplane's not there, so he falls out of the jetway again.
Wow. Which one's? Do you say Lloyd or Harry?
Lloyd. Harry is Jeff Daniels.
Ha.
Lloyd is Jim Carrey.
Okay.
It's their names are Harry Dunn and Lloyd Christmas.
Lloyd Christmas. Oh, that's good. See, I remember because Daniel used to say this all the time. He would go, "This is important. You might want to hold on to that," or something like that.
That's he must be a big fan because that's an obscure quote.
Oh, listen, he quoted everything.
These are IOUs. You might want to hold on to that one. That's for a Lamborghini. 200 thou.
Yeah. So
100 thou. Can't remember, but yeah.
Okay. I did pretty good.
Yeah, you did okay. Here, let me do one more, okay?
All right. Yeah, lay it on me.
Cool. So you mentioned the dog van.
Yeah.
What does Lloyd trade the dog van in for?
Well, I know this. I already know it. You don't have to multiple choice it. I'm just going to say
what is it?
Moped.
Judges? Judges? A scooter. Ding, 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 ding.
And that's just because I've seen that movie with the snot. I've seen that scene with the snot, like a million times. But I did not know
that on the back in there.
What?
Got kind of nippy on the coming through the pass there, didn't it, Harry?
See, that bounces off of me. Yeah, man. Okay. All right. So I thought I did pretty good.
Yeah, you did okay.
I'll be honest though, man. I don't know if I can go back and watch it. It's just sounds so. Not that I don't like stupid movies, but
No.
I think it might be dated. When did it come out? Like 95?
No. It is solid up until now. I mean,
I don't know if
it'll be
watch
solid
it. Let me see.
from here on to the future.
Dumb and Dumber.
It will be in the Smithsonian one day.
I'm gonna watch one of these two this week. One of these two. It's probably gonna be Pure Country, but
well,
right. I made notes.
Okay.
Because you're gonna help me through this, and I'm gonna watch all the movies that everyone has watched and I haven't. But I there's not many left because I've caught up.
Don't not watch Dumb and Dumber. I mean, that you have to do that. You have to experience that movie from beginning to end and just appreciate.
It'll have to be when Terry's not
art,
around.
The lightning in the bottle that is Dumb and Dumber, thanks to the Farrelly brothers. And after you watch it, you may realize there's been conversations around you that it was like a foreign language.
Right.
But now it's like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I know what people are saying around me now.
And hey, we did a thing. We did our first Easily Distracted podcast. What do you think?
I know. I'm so proud of myself.
We
hanging in there with you. Yeah. As my daddy always said, it was real, it was fun, but it wasn't real fun.
Maybe next time it'll be real fun.
Maybe next time it will be real fun.
All right, let's do it again. See you, bud.
Let's do it. Peace. I love this music.
Can you hear it?
Nope.